All right, so this isn't as like advanced and stuff that like all of y'all got going on over here, but I got in the radio like a year ago. Um, I discovered my love for it whenever I joined Fathom5. So I just want to talk about like something cool that I do with it. Okay, so Fathom5 is a company that we're at the intersection of AI and Greece. So we like to uh, we do like security for things that control physical things like pumps, motors, whatnot, PLCs. Um, so one of the radio protocols that we work with a lot is AIS, which is a protocol that ships will use to inform each other every few seconds about. Sorry, I like ran here from my hotel. Um, about like their position, direction, and all that other stuff. So um, here, this is the AIS. The center right here is 162 or I think megahertz or something like that. But then minus 0.25 is one channel, and then plus 0.25 megahertz is another channel. One of them is, I believe, specifically for ship to ship, and the other one is ship to shore. So what I'm going to show also, FYI, is taking an AIS data and then split automatically in real time, taking each message and then putting it into its own file. That way you can open, like in URH or something, you can open per message, you automatically have the file separated. Okay, so yeah, we have our, I had a pre-recording, so that's a file source. Then we just, oh yeah, there's a frequency translate because of the DC spike thing, so I offset and bring it back down. Okay, so right here, what's going on is you can see on the left AIS1, AIS2, and on the bottom left and bottom right, you have where I'm. So what I do is I squelch. I squelch and I squelch like whenever the power is not at a certain level, then I don't have it trying to demod it. And so what you see here is just an output of the squelching, and this is the graph that does it. So at the top, we take our AIS center feed, then we do a frequency translate minus 0.25 to bring it down to AIS channel 1. So now we have AIS channel 1. Then bandpass for just to get rid of some of the stuff that's out left and right outside of it. Then this is where we do our squelch. And then it goes to that sync AIS channel 1 squelched. This is channel 1 squelched right here. And what's going on here is the formula for the squelching is complex and mag squared, then a single pole IIR filter. So what's nice is that I pretty much just, like from the docs, they say, oh, that's how it's done. So that way, I can go here and I can look at, because this has two inputs, one's the raw feed and the other one's the squelched. This lets me compare, okay, am I squelching too much? Or is my ramp too much or too little or whatever, the alpha and all that stuff? And I can look here and I can say, okay, I'm gonna adjust this, and I can watch it in real time as it does all that stuff. So, okay, so now we have that. And then we take that squelched, and AIS is GMSK, so we do GMSK demod. Then it's NRZI decode. Then we flip it, add, like, because it's NRZI, it's going to be inverted, and I like to see the 0 be, at 0. So what we have to do is, first we flip it, then we bring it up 1, and then we turn it into a character, and then we can do the correlate access code tag because AIS has a known preamble in the front, and we put all 3 into the time sync so we can see. So right here, I have the GMSK demod and NRZI decode stages turned off in this example, but the actual final output, you can see in the front, there's the AIS preamble right there, and then there's a payload following. Oh, okay, yeah. And then what I also do is I save, I add 48 to the ones and zeros. That way they turn into ASCII ones and zeros, and I save it to a file. So now I can see a file with ones and zeros in it. These zeros, there's a ton of zeros that shouldn't be in there because the squelching should have gated it or something. But and then the part that is, I think, the coolest is we take the squelched, then we put it, we trigger based on if there's like data, well, we save it into a file. And then now in real time, each of these is a unique AIS message. And so you can see these are examples of unique AIS messages. So the squelching begins the saving to a file, and then the end of that file is whenever the squelch, or whenever the power level goes below the squelch level. And so now each of these in real time, I just have like hundreds of AIS messages that are just being saved into their individual files. And yeah, the reason I did this is because previously I would record it, then I would by hand go and cut it apart and stuff. And this is useful for us because now we can test AIS sensors and stuff that we have with real data from Galveston is where this is from.